broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What's up, everyone? Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's your host, Stacy, and I'm joined by a lovely guest, singer-songwriter. Loving this girl. We're here at the concert experience, and I want to introduce Coline Creuzot. How are we?
Hello, I'm great. How are you?
Good. Yep, you hear the claps. That's for you, boo-boo. So good to be for you to be here at the studio. I know you haven't been to the new studio. What do you think?
I love it. Very vibey.
We were actually just talking about the lights and everything, so hopefully you guys feel the same. Just feel the same way. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
And I'm just hearing that off screen it is your wedding anniversary. So
it
congratulations.
Thank you.
Like, she's such a boss, you guys. On her wedding anniversary, she's like, "Let me come hang and do this interview." That's a boss. I'm feeling it. I love it. I love it. So for Thanksgiving, you did get to go home, which is Houston, Texas.
Yes.
So let's do our quick have a moment here.
Throw up the H
this is
real
us.
Quick.
This is us. This is my girl. There's a connection already. I love it. So you're from my hometown as well. That's awesome. So Houston, Texas. What'd you do for Thanksgiving? How was it?
I ate way too much food. Oh my gosh, my dad cooked. We had a little bit of everything.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was so good to have some gumbo. I haven't had gumbo in so long, so I'm gonna have to work out 2 days for the next couple weeks, but it's all right.
I love that. I love that. That's so good that you were home. And it's funny because one of my first questions, it's always interesting hearing from artists where they're originally from and where they ended up, kind of thing. And I don't necessarily feel like LA is your end place, but that's where you are now.
For sure.
What do you think you brought from Houston to LA that makes you the artist that you are?
Houston, I think the move was something that I had been contemplating for a while. I've been doing a lot of traveling back and forth, and I just decided, this is where everything is where I needed to be. Definitely bring a little Southern charm,
I like that. We all cute and stuff. We're nice. We say please and thank you.
Absolutely. And speak to strangers.
Right.
That was a really big adjustment for me.
Yeah.
When I first came here, I was like, oh my gosh, people don't, normally in Houston, it's like, hey, what's up? How you doing?
Right.
No, not here. So.
Did you feel like the music was different too?
For sure.
Okay. In what ways?
I mean, there's so much variety here.
Right.
People are here from all over the world to work. Houston's a great place.
Yeah.
But I felt like in order for me to grow and to make, more connections and branch out and grow as an artist and a writer, that I needed to be here.
Right. Wow, that's so awesome. And I know I learned that your whole family is basically full of singers. Is that right?
Yeah,
brother, mom,
actually,
what is that? That's amazing.
It's kind of crazy. My dad is not a singer.
Okay.
He's a little tone deaf. But my mom was in a band like in high school, and
awesome.
After college she decided that she didn't want to be a struggling artist, so she was like, I'm out.
Right.
But both of my brothers can actually sing. My big brother can sing, and my little brother, he is like so talented, is sickening.
Do you guys ever think about doing something together?
My big brother would never admit that he can sing. You have to catch him in the car.
Oh. Wow.
And my little brother, you have to make him shut up.
So the combo would be you pulling them together and trying to get it all. I see. See, that's why we're so important. Do you have you learned anything specifically from your mom, who was an artist and had these experiences and necessarily didn't finish in that space, but still had some experience there?
Really just persistence. My mom and my parents specifically, have just taught us whatever it is you love, go for it and keep pushing, keep at it. So that's definitely something I've taken from both of my parents.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you remember writing your first song?
It's really funny. When I was moving here, I found this little writing tablet that I had.
Yeah.
I was probably 9 or 10, and it was the most hilarious. Like, the song was about staying in school and boys, and I just died laughing. But I was trying to write at a very young age.
Right. Like, really trying to put it out there.
Really trying to
It's crazy.
I love to write. It's a way for me to express myself.
Right.
So I've been doing it for a long time. My songs weren't very good at 9 or 10. But
Still, they were you, but they weren't, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
So first question is, what is your writing process like? Are you a journaler? Do you need to be at Echo Park? Do you need to be at Starbucks? Are you a coffee bean girl? Like, how does that work?
You know, for me, I like to just listen to the music. Okay. I either go to the studio with the producer and we create from scratch, or they send me tracks. And typically I like to vibe at the studio. Like, I don't like to sometimes put too much time. I'm a very deep thinker. Yeah. So sometimes if I, you know, sit down and go over it and over it and over it in my head, it's a little too deep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if I go into the studio and I just vibe and just get in my zone, a lot of times I'll just go in and I'll freestyle. Yeah. And whatever like comes out, and then I'll go back and I'll tweak it, perfect it, you know.
When you talk to different artists, it's so funny. Some, you know, they go very, very deep and some don't. Mm-hmm. For you, what's the hardest thing to write about personally?
The easy stuff. Club songs are really hard for me to write.
Really?
I know that sounds so crazy, but
it's cool.
It's crazy.
It makes you authentic.
Emotional, I can write it quickly. It just pours out. But if it's something that's supposed to be fun and like, because I overthink, you know what I mean? And it's not emotion. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, is that good? Can I?
Do people actually twerk to this?
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, it ends up coming out, but the process is a lot harder for me than to write, you know, something about feelings. You know what I mean?
That is so interesting. It's you know, you never really hear an artist say that the hardest part is the fun and, like you said, the easy stuff, because I was just telling someone the other day, it feels like, you know, artists now, they go in the studio and they're just like, what's up, and they're kind of jamming for, you know, it's some like Fetty Wap hit song, which I love you, Fetty, so it's fine. I love me some Fetty, you know. See, there's this Houston thing going, you guys. So I get that, but it's always interesting to find out, is it tougher to write about, you know, being a wife or being a mother or being heartbroken, those kind of things, and you don't have those experiences.
Anything emotional is easy for me to write.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now that I've already brought up that she's a wife and a mom, looking like, I mean, okay, people. What do you feel like is the balance? And I kind of hate when, you know, people ask a woman, like, how do you balance it all? Because it seems like we can't have it all, but
we can.
You want to hear from somebody that we can. What does that look like for you?
We can. Family first for me.
Okay.
You know, God, family, and then music. Yeah. It's just about taking the time out to take care of your husband, take care of your child, and making time for work. And my husband is very supportive, very understanding, so we're a great team. You know, his work requires a lot of time away. So we figure it out. You know.
Does he ever like say something to you and then all of a sudden he sees it in another song lyric later and is like, I'm gonna stop talking?
Sometimes he makes me mad.
and then
I come back from the studio and he'd be like, baby, that kind of hurt my feelings because I know that's about me.
That's hilarious.
I'm like, well, it's just a little therapy.
We're over. We're not fighting. You should be happy. That's hilarious. I love that. So in the music world, I mean, like I said, you've transitioned from Houston and now you're in LA. In that process, have you seen any artists that you would like to collab with, that you kind of...
There's so many.
Really, yeah.
You know, I mean, there's so many. I mean, geez, Lauryn Hill is like one of my all-time like dream. Andre 3000, and I love J. Cole. I feel like he's a storyteller, so I feel like we could have a nice...
What's your favorite J. Cole song?
Oh man, Lost Ones is one of my favorites.
Okay, love. Awesome.
But he's real, you know. He talks about real life stuff, and that's the kind of stuff I like to write and stuff I like to listen to.
I love that. Do you describe your music any type of way? Like, I'm R&B, soul, I'm R&B. Like, do you have a specific realm that you like to fit in, or do you feel like one day you might try pop? I don't know.
I mean, I write everything.
Okay.
So that allows me to be free. You know what I mean? It helps me to not be put in a box. But as an artist, I feel like who I am is R&B.
Okay, from the soul. I got you.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah. When you see, when you see like award shows and you see the R&B category, you know, Grammys, AMAs, whatever, do you feel any type of way? I've been listening a lot to, you know, Tyrese, for instance, who's talked a little bit about the R&B realm and what it looks like and how he feels like it's diminishing, but I don't know if that's a personal experience or, you know, I don't know. Do you see something in that realm?
I feel like R&B is making a comeback. Okay. I honestly do. And I feel like soul music is everywhere.
Right.
You know, I feel like Adele is soul. You know, it's categorized as pop, but that's soul music.
It is.
Sam
How can
Smith,
it be? Yes.
that's soul music.
Yes.
So I feel like it's about the record.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, we all have our personal struggles in our lanes. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think it's about the music.
All right. Wow. See, it's coming back. I never thought it left, to be honest, because there's always that CD you have. I always had the Brandy CD. I was like, I don't get it.
Well, in the 90s, it was everything R&B. You know what I mean? So, but I definitely think it's making a comeback for sure.
Cool. I love that. Besides the person that you want to collab with, is there an artist you do look up to the most, maybe in the R&B realm or in any realm?
I'm gonna have to say Beyonce.
And she's from Houston, people.
I know I'm a little biased because she's from the
fine.
age.
I support you.
But I've watched their journey. She's worked hard.
Yeah.
You know, she's an amazing talent. She's breaking the rules. She's breaking barriers. So for sure,
I like
Beyonce,
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. Okay, so we get to your EP.
Yep.
You know, give me a little bit of details from your EP. I want title. I mean, I already know the stuff, but I want you to share personally, because when an artist talks about their EP, you see the emotion, you see the difference.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Let's talk about it a little bit.
So the EP is called Timeless.
Yep.
It's 6 songs. It talks about a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Things you go through in a relationship,
Yeah.
you know, the breaking up, the making up, the just meeting somebody, you know, the getting over.
What track is that one? Yeah.
I mean, come on. I got something for everybody on there. You know, I try to write songs that can help people get through things, you know, stuff that's relatable.
Yeah.
So I think the women are going to love it, and I think the men are going to love it too.
Good. Good. What's your best way, do you feel like, maybe advertising or letting people know what's up? I mean, there's social media, which is amazing, but it's always great when a female artist gets the man artist to like jam and get it, and then when the male artist you know, there's always a bias, I feel like, and I love that you're like, it's for everybody.
Yeah,
so,
for sure. I think it's for everybody, and I think everybody can relate to it.
Nice.
It's been a process. It took me about 2 years, and I've been like perfecting it and going back and changing things, and I think we finally got it to a point where I'm like, this is me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I'm excited.
Okay, so what's your favorite song on the EP?
They're all my babies.
No, they can't be. One's got to be like a little malnourished. No, I'm kidding. Which one do you feed the most? You know, it's like formula plus that. Like, which one? It's a little bit more love.
I'm gonna have to say "Numb" is one of my personal favorites.
Okay.
That's another song that I went in and freestyled. I loved the track.
Yeah.
I went in and recorded it 3 times, and I kept listening. I'm like, I still don't like it. So I went in and I finally came up with "Numb," and that song's about 2.5 years old, but I think it's still my personal favorite.
Do you ever see that, like, your lyrics book, and you're like, wow, these feelings don't even apply to me anymore? Or do you still always go back to it? And
well, they don't, but it, you know, I mean, they always apply to you if it's something you've gone through. But you know, it's a part of telling your story. And even if it doesn't apply to you in the moment, it applies to somebody else. You know what I mean?
There you go. It's always working. I love that. Look, because you see the book that artists have that's like, I just jabbled it all down, and then all of a sudden it's like the #1 single, and you're like, how did that process work?
Most times it's an old record.
Yeah. That's something that took you through something else, and now it's amazing. I love that. So, okay, I know I want people to get a glimpse of what Truth Is looks like. So I got to go to her special EP secret party. So I already heard it, but you guys haven't. So I want to do a little flash of that if we can.
All right.
Like I'm trying to be.
You said you love me. You said you need me. Where are you, baby? What's happening to me? I've been waiting on for you. Can't seem to get no time from you. I think you think I can't handle the truth, but all this here, it just ain't up to you. 'Cause the truth is, I got
What? Oh, we should probably. Okay, all right. So we swagging in, I'm gonna have to turn it down a little bit, but you guys see what we're talking about. So, what do you have a story from this song? Do you remember what the feeling was when you wrote a song like that? Was it for somebody specific?
It was a freestyle.
Really?
I had like a couple hours left in the studio and didn't want to waste the time. So I was like, let's pull up some tracks. And I just went in the booth and I was like, the beat came on. I started dancing. And I just started singing. And I was like, ooh. I asked the engineer, I was like, you think I can say that? And he was like, you can say whatever you want. It's your song. I was like, you're right. You're right. So, you know. It's an anthem about not getting too comfortable.
Right. When you did the video, because I was watching the video, and it's very sexy.
Thank you.
And it's I would say sexy is the way I described it, and very comfortable too. What was that like? Like, you know, I mean, were you challenged a lot? Were you feeling like...
Absolutely. Kim Burse, who was the creative director for the video, came up with the idea to do the choreography, you know, the chair routine, which was really cool. It was something different for me. I've been dancing all my life, but I've never really incorporated it into...
While you're singing.
Yeah, you know, into a video or into my shows like that. So I rehearsed a month before the video, and it turned out great. I love it.
That's awesome. Did you have a lot of influence on the clothing and some of the style and some of the editing at all? Or?
Yeah. Kelly Johnson is my stylist. She's really great. She's great at kind of mixing up the tomboy with the dainty pretty. So, you know, she pulled everything together really nicely. The sexy stuff was pretty funny. I was on set and my husband went to go pick up the pizzas and he came back and I was in the bodysuit and he was like, he said, I walked out and you were Aaliyah and I came back and you were Nicki Minaj. I was like, let's hurry this out.
Right. I think we need to go home. Okay. I love that. Does he ever feel any type of way on set? You know,
he was like, kill it, baby, kill it.
I love it. That's okay. That's the true support you're talking about. I love that.
For sure.
So tell me a little bit about somebody who is trying to get in the music industry, doesn't really know how to, you know, get their foot in the door. That's kind of the phrase of tackling an industry you want to be in, but you feel very far away. What was your process like? Was it, I was so bomb, I got an agent manager in 2 seconds, or was it, I mean, everybody has a struggle, but what's your story like?
Well, you know, I've been singing and writing forever. My manager, his name was Goo in Houston. He also managed Paul Wall. And so he and I grew up in church together. You know, and so he knew that I've been doing music all my life. And kind of when I got to an age and a point where he felt like I was ready, you know, I was writing stuff that was good and, you know, growing into myself, he kind of took me under his wing and just, you know, kind of got me out in Houston. And I wrote a song called Give and Take in 2007 that was #1 on the radio in Houston for 6 weeks. So that kind of really opened a lot of doors for me. From there, I later signed with Sony ATV for publishing, and they've opened a lot of doors for me as well in terms of just networking and meeting producers and other writers. So, I mean, if I had to give anybody advice now, I mean, use the internet. Like,
yeah, for real.
Use the internet. Nowadays, I mean, you have, access to everything at your fingertips, you know, YouTube, and, you know, put yourself out there. I mean, if I had to give one, you know, really big piece of advice, it's just keep going.
Yeah. Was there a part of that process that you were fearful? You weren't sure, am I with the right agent? Am I with the right manager? Do I feel nervous? I mean, was there any of that?
I mean, I think everybody goes through that in their career. I mean, as you grow, sometimes you need someone to grow with you. Sometimes, you know, things happen in other people's lives where they're not capable or they're not, you know, able to help anymore. And so it's just kind of one of those things. It's like, you know, a manager is like a marriage. You know, it's like a
real.
relationship, you know? And so you just kind of got to grow with that person and just figure it out, you know?
So you went from figuring it out to opening for Drake. Explain, please. Like, what was opening for Drake like? I mean, he's kind of my favorite sometimes, and I'm even lies, so I love that experience.
Really cool. You know, he came to Houston and he was performing at Warehouse Live. But this was when Drake first, like, that first mixtape came out and he was like hot. You know what I mean? Like when he first came out. So the opportunity presented itself. My manager, Goo at the time, was like, you know, Drake's coming here. I'm gonna see if I can get you on the open. I was like, for real?
Wow, that's
like,
awesome.
yeah. So it just worked out that way. It was a great experience. I mean, the the crowd was amazing. It was like a college, young crowd, but it was great exposure for me for sure.
Is there anybody now you'd want to open up for? Obviously, someone needs to be opening for you.
So
but
many
if you
people,
could, right?
I mean, I would love the opportunity to open for so many people.
Yeah.
It's
just endless.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I love it. Okay, so when do we expect the EP coming out? Because I know the single's out already. It's already available on iTunes for you to download.
Google
you guys,
Play.
yes.
Get your
keep
copy.
going. Okay, get your copy. You got Google Play. You have iTunes. You have options, so it's online already for you to download. Truth is. So what about the rest? I mean, don't keep us hanging. When's the rest of it coming out?
So I think that we're gonna drop another single before we drop the EP. I just want people to keep getting a little feel,
taste.
Yeah, a little taste for what we're doing. Yeah. So that should happen somewhere, early next year. Okay. I don't want to give you a specific date.
2016 is gonna be bomb. That's what she's trying to say. I love it. I love it. And I was on your website, and I was, of course, just gazing at I love all your photos. They're just so, like I said, just so fabulous and so comfortable. But what's with the art tab? What's the art tab about?
As well.
I was like, wait, is she selling other people's? Is this her stuff? Okay, tell me about that.
Well. Wow. I started painting when I was about 18. Mm-hmm. I got my first apartment and I wanted some art. And my mom was like, we're not buying you any art. We just bought your furniture. I was like, but I need some art in here. So I went to the art supply and I painted, and then people started coming over and saying, hey, who did that? And I'm like, me. They were like, will you make me one? I was like, all right. And I turned it into a business. It ended up working out. I've done an art show every year. One big one a year.
That's
every year.
Awesome. Yeah. And is that something you want to stay consistent with?
Yeah, hopefully one day I'd like to own a gallery.
One day, that's a beautiful. I think that day's gonna be great and really close. And also, maybe one day you'll do the art for your EP, maybe the cover.
That would be dope.
I just had a vision right quick. Okay. I love it. Okay, so we are at the end of the year. What are your New Year resolution goals? Have you already started thinking about that? Are you heading in 2016 with specific ideas, goals, dreams?
Focus.
I love it.
Focus. Just work harder.
I like that. Explain anything. What do you want to focus on? Anything specific in your music?
Just work in general. Okay. Writing more for other artists. Focus on getting my show together.
Nice.
Love to working on putting a showcase together. Can't wait to do that. Yeah. Just work. Everything work.
If you weren't living in LA, would you be living in somewhere else doing music, or do you feel like LA
I considered Atlanta?
Okay.
I did, which felt like Houston to me, just in terms of the people.
Right.
But most people from Atlanta have to come out here to work. So I was like, I might as well just
go to LA.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. Do you feel like this is a long-term place for you, or maybe you'll end up back in Houston? How do you feel about?
I do feel like this is long-term. Don't tell my husband.
It's always crazy when people are like, listen, LA might be it.
I'm
because it's real.
You. I mean, home is always going to be home.
Yes, of course.
And later on, maybe we'll buy some property there, just to have. But I love it here.
That's good.
It's great for work. The weather is unbeatable.
I won't lie. Like, I've been trying to complain about the cold, but 52 isn't cold.
Come on.
Fine. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't want to wear jackets. We'll talk about it later. I understand. You're right. The weather is fabulous. And LA, I think it is a really beautiful place to foster a career. I think it's just awesome. Again, bringing R&B back into this realm and keeping the variety going. It's really cool. Any Christmas plans? Anything coming up for the end of the year?
Back to Houston.
Yay! Okay, I gotta get on the same plane because I gotta go too. I love it. I love it.
My parents aren't having it. They're like, "You coming home, right?"
How do you guys do Christmas at home?
At my parents' house. Everybody comes to my parents' house.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's
big
fun.
And family. That's so awesome. Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I love hearing about your journey. I'm so glad you were able to share it with us and kind of give us a little bit of insight. Is there anything else you want to tell us about? Maybe any upcoming projects you have coming up?
No, I think we covered it all. Okay. Singles out, truth is, get your copy.
Yeah, right.
Videos out on my YouTube page. Check it out. Nice. Love your feedback.
Love it.
And be looking for the EP coming up soon. Timeless.
Good. I love that. Timeless is how'd you come up with that title?
Because my goal is to write timeless music. So
You know, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, you don't end something like that. That's amazing. I know your Twitter handle's probably at the bottom, but maybe leave everybody with where they can keep in touch with you: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of jazz.
Everything Coline Creuzot. So it's COLINE CREUZOT, and my Instagram is @CoCreuz.
Love. Easy peasy, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Concert Experience. I'm your host, Stacy Ike. You can check me out on Twitter and Instagram @OneTakeStace. We will see you next time, and thanks so much for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.